Welcome to Yesterday's Airlines. In this video we're going to take a quick look at the very latest sample model that NG Models has sent through to me, and that is of their upcoming Airbus A350. Now this is so hot off the press, and it was sent to me a few months ago, that it's not even in die cast. This is actually not a die cast model, but it is a representation of the casting at that point in time. So let's take a quick look around her, because I think the A350s are going to be coming in the next couple of months. Now, not being die cast, this mould is a little bit fragile, and it did suffer somewhat in transport to New Zealand. There were some breakages, but I was able to fix those up. It is, however, quite easy to bend, and so the wings do, for example, as you can see, easily bend, and one of them is slightly out of shape, and again that was due to transit. It was such an early production model that it doesn't even have its own proper plastic packaging to come in, so it just came in a box for a 787 with the plastic cut open where needed. It's a pretty nice representation. You can see it's got a really good nose, which is actually one of the areas that most of the manufacturers have struggled somewhat with, and very nice engines. And if you look inside the engines, if I can just move it correctly, you can see some nice fan detail, and again you can see the engines are actually see-through, so it's got a really good look to it. You can see the tail slightly bent. Again, that must have happened when it was being transported to New Zealand. But overall, it's got a really good look. Some nice detailing on the roof with the Wi-Fi hump at the back and the two smaller bumps over the wings. From behind you can kind of see this line around it, which looks like it's two pieces have been put together there, but I'm sure obviously that won't be on the real thing. But it's really interesting to see how they've gone about building and constructing this mould. And it's the undercarriage, which of course came off second best when it was being transported here, because it's just plastic and it's very, very fragile. But I was able to put it back together again pretty much as it ought to be. It looks very good. Now, even though the wings are bent on this plastic sample that was sent through, it does look like NG are taking into account the modifications that have happened in the real thing in terms of the winglets, and this will be the first 400 scale mould with the correct, slightly larger winglets that the A350 now has as standard. Now, the one criticism that I did have when I did the detailed review at my website, Yesterday's Airlines, of the new NG Models mould for the A350 was the wings. Here you can see it compared to the Aviation 400 A350, which is the current market leader in my opinion, the best A350 currently available. Now, the one thing that I noticed about the NG Models A350, and it's really difficult to show it when I'm holding the camera, is that the wings are slightly too short. So I did raise that with them, and hopefully it's something that will be modified when the new version of the mould is released, which, as I understand it, should be within the next couple of months. So it's another number 4, I think, option for the A350. It's likely to be better than what Phoenix are producing. It's probably as good, maybe better than the JC Wings Gemini effort, even with the modified nose. Is it as good as the Aviation 400 mould? It's hard to say at this point in time, so I wait to see a die-cast metal version of the finished mould so I can get a better look and do a new comparison. But it's pretty exciting to see NG Models producing moulds so quickly and regularly, so that's a good thing. Let's hope it's a success when it does come out. Don't forget to check out my website, Yesterday's Airlines, for all the news and reviews, especially about NG Models, but about pretty much anybody. And thanks very much for watching.